Well, good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to another edition of Avenger Pretenders. That's right. JT usually does the intro, but right before we went live, something broke. Don't know what broke, but don't worry. We'll get it covered because that's how we
Am I here?
See, there he is.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to your Monday night. Why? Because it's time for Avenger Pretenders. That's right. Got JT the Geek, or JT the Geek. Yeah, JT the Redneck here with you tonight. Dragon Sully's kicking and screaming back here behind me. I've got him gagged so you can't hear it. But tonight we are going to... I don't have my camera on.
Your camera's not on.
Tonight we are going to review episode 3. Yes, episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again. So, Get whatever adult beverage it is you want to drink or whatever it is you thirst for. Grab some snacks, have a seat in that beanbag chair, and put your seatbelt on because, folks, with this episode, you better hold on tight.
It's
Sully. It's all you, brother.
Oh, I thank you. I want to say hello to everybody who's chiming in via whether it's Twitch or TikTok, including my buddy Meg, as well as I believe there was a Heather in there that just popped up too. Heather, hello. And Purr Dog, hello to you too. And Birdie, hello. Welcome to the Insane Asylum here at Accidental Punch, where we are talking about Daredevil Born Again, episode 3. I want to thank Meg for all the likes. Appreciate it. Love you. It's all good. And also, this episode was, whoa, holy crap. I think if some of this happened in the previous episode, you probably would have brought an episode up to at least a 5.
Oh, it would have been like at least a 4.75.
Yeah. So
at minimum.
So yay to that. That we would have seen an increase in JT's ratings for the episodes. But
that's hard to do. It's hard to get me to change my ratings.
Oh yeah, and that's okay. It's okay to change the rating. So if I ignore you coming in, I apologize, but at least say hi. Come on in, twitch.tv/accidental punch. You can watch us on YouTube, DLive, Kick. We're all over the place. And this week, let's just recap a little bit with the last 2 episodes. So episode 1, obviously, we see the death of... Foggy Nelson, and we see the introduction of Bullseye into the MCU, as well as White Tiger. We see White Tiger. In episode 2, White Tiger is arrested for allegedly killing a police officer when had nothing to do with it. The guy was just a douche and jumped and tried to get him and he got hit by a train.
I got to correct you a little bit here.
Okay.
You can't say that he had nothing to do with it. But it was definitely not something that was done with malice or on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, this is just one of those things that happened in a fight. He was attacking, White Tiger dodged, just natural reaction, and he happened to launch himself into the flight path of a train.
Now, folks, remember, if you decide to launch yourself into a train that is going full speed, you run the risk of going squish.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't want to jump too far ahead in the episode, but there was a great description.
Yes.
Of what you want me to go ahead and throw that out there now?
Nope, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it because there's
a great description coming up of what happens when you do that.
It's all part of the episode. And mind you, we're doing things differently with this season in the MCU.
I don't think the way that we have done all the other ones with the pattern, and we take it scene by scene, and
scene by scene.
it wouldn't work with this.
No, it really
It just wouldn't work.
Like certain things will work, like for example, and we're just going to get down to the nitty gritty when it comes to this. The beginning of this week's episode really takes place right after last week, but we already know that Hector Ayala, also known as the White Tiger, was arrested. He's in jail. He's awaiting his trial, and we already see certain things coming into fruition. We also have Matt and Hector kind of bonding a little bit. Like, he wants to know his background with Puerto Rico because he's trying to build a case. He's trying to build a case for him to show what he's like as a person, which any good defense attorney would do.
Well, and I love the story that he told.
Which was,
he talks about being out on the beach, and there's one certain kind of a frog. I can't remember what it was, like a keto or something like that.
Yes.
And how it calls its mate. They mate for life. At night, there's thousands of them out there, and they're all calling to their mate so that they can get back together and all that stuff. And how beautiful it was, and all of this. And I mean, it really does give you a lot of insight into what's in this man's heart.
Certainly does.
And he talked about how vital it was.
Yes.
To him, and how
Very
badly he, well, he didn't say that he wanted to get back there, but Matt tells him, you're going to get to see that beach again. Yeah. I promise you.
Absolutely. But we'll get into that a little bit more too.
Right. Okay. The Cokie. According to Mr. Big Tank, who, again, just saved my ass live on air.
Yeah.
The frog is pronounced Cokie. Thank you, Tank.
Oh, wow. We got a whole bunch of people joining. Well, let's see. We got Carson. We got Carolyn. We got Tallow. We got Sashli, if I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. We got...
I ain't got to pronounce it.
Ronan, Sam, Mando. Hello, everybody, and thank you all for liking the live, sharing the live. Please share the live. Anybody that you know that's a Marvel fan, come on in, have some fun with us. We're talking about episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again. So for those that are watching on TikTok, if you see me kind of turn away from the camera, I got more cameras to look at. I got to look at all of them. The only one I don't have to look at is JT. He's off to my right, but sometimes I do that too because it's like, hey, he's right here in the studio, but he's really not. He's really
We've actually never met in real life.
That's true. It's true. Now, when it comes to this series, and again, Matt and Hector are now getting that character building part of the entire case that they're going to need, because they even mentioned that they can't use White Tiger at all in this case.
Yeah, he put up a big fight about that in episode 2.
Put up a huge fight in episode 2 about it.
And actually want to convince the judge, because obviously the cops want to go, hey, this guy's a vigilante. He'll do anything.
Right.
So.
Which, in a lot of ways, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Vigilantes, although doing good, kind of work outside the law there. They help the law. They help the law, depending on the vigilante. Now, we also have Wilson Fisk, and it's not Daredevil without Wilson Fisk. He's the mayor. There's things going on because we see a double homicide at Red Hook Pier, which leads Wilson and Vanessa to talk about business over breakfast. not only is Fisk now the mayor, but obviously he is the kingpin of crime, and Vanessa is the queen of crime in New York City.
Remember, she ran the entire operation
Sure.
the whole time that Fisk, for what was it, for like 2 years, I want to say.
Give or take, yeah.
While he was recovering from getting shot in the face by Echo.
Yep. And Echo, man, did Echo mess him up. Oh, boy.
He scrambled his eggs and threw them in the garbage.
But the thing with this is there's trouble within the five families. Okay. Now, what I love about, and this is something that I've been saying for a very long time, what I love about Marvel is they mention very real things that have happened in New York for decades. Because if you think about it, when it comes down to the crime families, how many families were there? 5.
5 boroughs, 5 families.
That's it. The 5 families of New York. If you messed with one, you were probably gonna be sleeping with the fishes.
You're a dead man or woman or thing, individual,
So
whatever.
that whole thing is going on, and clearly there's gonna be a gang war eventually. But at the same time, Vanessa is like, Wilson, you know, buddy old pal, my husband that I had an affair with, shit's going down, okay? You got to step up, you got to step in, you got to say something, because if you don't, something is going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, Fisk is like, I don't care. Let them fight.
Yeah, because
just let them have at it and kill themselves.
well, the other thing that I think with that is that I actually believe, and stop me if you're going to do devil's advocate on this. I actually believe that Wilson Fisk thinks he's doing the right thing by becoming the mayor and to turn the city around. I actually feel like he wants to do that. You know?
Here's the thing, and this is what I was trying to tell you when all the crazy shit happened with my mic.
Whoopsie.
I think that, or I wonder how much of a fight Fisk has with himself to play both sides of this coin.
I think he could do it pretty well.
He's got to be a good guy because he's the mayor of New York now.
Yes.
So he's got to be a good guy. He's under a microscope.
Yes.
And everything else. But at the same time, he's got the family biz.
Yes.
And, which technically he's the boss of.
Yep.
But I don't really think he ever technically took charge of it again. Because nothing was ever said when he came in and stood in the doorway when his wife was meeting with them.
Yeah, true.
To settle the little disturbance that was going on.
Yep.
Nothing was ever said or anything. I mean, is it just he is alive, he's here, he's back in charge? Or is it, well, he may be here, but the wife is still in charge?
Yes.
But it's got to be really, really hard for him to play both sides of this coin.
Yeah.
And this conversation with his wife is the first time we really see him saying anything or doing anything about it. As far as, the we'll call it the underside of this coin that he's playing.
Kind of like Two-Face.
Yeah, a little bit. Big Tank says that he feels like Fisk is basing his mayor character kind of along the lines of Rudy Giuliani.
You know what? I got that same vibe.
I did too. I mean, that was his message. I want to clean up the city.
But you see, he wants to clean, and again, he wants to clean up the city to get rid of all the vigilantes, so he doesn't have to worry about what he's going to do as the kingpin of crime.
Right, because he and the 5 families are going to run the place, and
Right.
you don't cross the 5 families.
Which is why I think he really actually does want to do good by this, right? But also, he's going to bring the 5 families into the fold somehow.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, go clean up this area.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
And that's why I say I wonder how hard it is right now for him to play both sides of this coin.
Yeah.
Especially with what happened with the truck jacking conversation he's having with the wife right now. Hey, let them fight, let them kill each other. But his wife does make a good point of, okay, if we go that route, whoever wins and ends up being the ruler of all,
yes,
is going to come after you.
Right. And that's not going to be good either.
So
in a lot of ways, I understand where they're coming from.
I do too.
Now, mind you,
like I said, it's an interesting point of view to see how he's trying to play.
Yes.
Both sides of this coin. And it's just now 3 episodes in that we're really seeing that kind of come into play a little bit.
Yes. Now, the other thing is, this is just a smaller part of the story for this episode. It does have significance because as this is all going on, now we have the trial of Hector Ayala, also known as White Tiger. And before the whole thing even starts, before the whole trial even starts,
such a cliche,
we see Officer Powell, who got his ass handed to him big time
when they went and tried to kill Ayala.
When they went to try and kill the witness.
Ayala.
No, Hector Ayala is the one on trial. The witness that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Not Ayala. Yeah.
So Powell confronts him and is like, dude, you're going to get it for, sticking your nose where it doesn't need to be. You're interfering with an investigation. And, oh, by the way,
Torres.
How dare you do that? But Matt was very nonchalant about it. And he's like, witness tampering? Hello?
Mm-hmm.
You think? Just a little bit?
Just a little.
And he even
witness tampering, intimidation.
Well, that's the thing. He points it out with the intimidation. He also points it out that if you're going to kill him, now you're tampering with a witness, which is a much more serious offense than me kicking your ass. Who, by the way, who's going to believe you? Your buddies that you got your ass kicked by a blind guy?
Blind guy can't fight like that.
No. Blind guy can't fight like that. No way. Which we know is not true when it comes to Matt Murdock's case.
Torres is the witness's name.
Yes.
Nicky Torres.
So Matt needed to really put that into stone with him because, yes, that is a lot worse than what Murdock did to them.
Yeah. I mean, basically, he's telling him, you're not going to intimidate me.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to intimidate me.
But you see, Powell takes the stand. Powell's on the stand, and he's painting the picture. He's the good guy. He's the cop. He's a crooked cop, but he's the good guy.
Lying his ass off.
Under oath, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Under oath. And how, well, not entirely a full lie. Not entirely a full lie. He did mention that Nicky Torres was their informant. Was.
Actually, no. He never admitted. He denied. I don't know him. I told you I don't know him.
Well, yes.
He completely denied about it and anything to do with Torres.
That's right. You're right.
You know,
Somebody
he
else did.
completely denied it.
I forget who else. I'm pretty sure they like mentioned it, but I'm forgetting who it was now. So this is all basically the cops who are the witnesses. You know, well, one of them, Powell being one of them, and his partner Shanahan, who was killed because he went wee splat. They flat out lied.
Oh yeah,
under oath to everybody, but that's not the picture that the police are seeing. The police are seeing, no, this guy killed a cop.
Throw him in front of it, or throw him into a moving train.
Their mind is already set. All right. Now, Matt, on the other hand, is accusing Powell of doing everything. And while that's happening, he also told Cherry and Forrest Tam to get Torres to the courthouse because you need the witness. You need that guy to clear Hector Ayala. You gotta do it. And he's all for it. He's all for it. So now we gotta get you there.
Yeah.
And
I actually had to rewind.
Did you?
This. Yep. I had to rewind this part in the courtroom when the cop turned to one of his buddies and said something.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand what he said.
So,
and I asked Kay, I says, "Did you catch what he said?" She says, "No." So I rewound it, turned it up, and went.
Put your ear right to the speaker, huh? So
stuck my good ear out. Come on, what'd you say?
So here was the thing, okay? They knew they had Torres. They knew they had to get him to the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
What I loved about this was that it was Powell who went after him to take him out. Or at least prevent him from getting there. Whether he was going to kill him or not, that's a different story. But
I think he was.
I think he was too. Okay?
Big Tank says, I loved the way they got Torres to the trial.
Oh, the way they got him to the trial was phenomenal. And absolutely needed. To the point, listen, they knew they were going to be watched. They knew they had, hawks watching every single move they make.
Yeah, because they knew they had Torres, but they didn't know where he was at.
Right. Which, again, he was in hiding, which was good. Okay. But...
Which was set up in episode 1.
Yes.
If you want to refer back.
Episode 2. 2
was it 2? Yeah, 2.
Yep, 2 is when they found him. So... I loved the whole switcheroo. And what I mean by the switcheroo was, and even Big Tank said the same thing. I love the way they got the witness to the trial. Hands down. This was genius.
Yep.
Because I didn't see him go into a taxi cab. I saw him go into a van, which to me made more sense. You get thrown into a van, secured, you can't see anything. But then you get out and get into a cab and go to where you need to go. And the police are none the wiser because they're doing what they need to do. Want to say hi to Tracy. Hello, darling. Thank you for the likes. Love ya. Miss ya. We're talking about Daredevil Born Again, episode 3. Spoilers. But tomorrow night is episode 5. So, should have watched it by now if you haven't. But... damn, I love this show.
I wasn't so sure about it when, from the previews and everything else, but it's pulled me in, and it pulled Kay in too really quickly.
You usually get the, all right, what's Sully going to make me watch now?
Only when it's the really freaking weird ones.
And again, you don't need to have watched the first 3 seasons of Daredevil from Netflix to understand what's going on. You just need to know what's going on. Like you yes, there's key things in there, and we're going to get to it as we move along, but it's going to be one of those things where it's the little things.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
and
the
that's
little
what I
things.
like about the series is they give you background. Episode 1, they give you all the background that you need, really. And as we're going along, they're actually adding to that background information just to clarify things a little more.
Yes.
So, it's something that you can easily follow.
Absolutely. I want to thank Tracy for sending me some chili peppers on TikTok. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
You can have mine. I can't eat chili peppers.
My live goal is almost complete, and she's liking the live as well. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Much love. I miss you. Come visit. Hurry up. Haven't seen you in years. Just saying. I'll let you and Meg fight it out for who's going to like the live the most. I love you both. Love you both.
We won't complain. We won't complain.
So we when that's happening, obviously we get the switcheroo. The switcheroo was amazing.
It was
absolutely amazing.
And I never caught it.
No, you didn't catch it?
Mm-mm.
I didn't catch it either.
No, when they opened the back door, I was like, oh, hell. And there's nobody there.
I didn't catch it either, which is crazy. And for some reason, I don't think anybody on TikTok can actually hear you. So I need to fix something real quick. But the other thing is with the switcheroo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's not connected. Why isn't it connected? Connect, damn it.
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't do it. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Let's problem connecting. Turn off the device and turn it back on. No. No.
This is probably because of what happened with my mic just before the show went on.
Actually, I think it's connected now. Hopefully,
Can you hear me out there?
they might be able to. Hey,
I'll say,
just let me know if you
am
can
I
hear
here?
JT? Because yeah, I screwed something up. It shows I'm connected. It shows on the board I'm connected. So yay. Hopefully you can hear JT now. Instead of just me and hearing him through like a tin can. Yeah, just putting it out there. Putting it out there. And I want to thank you for getting me to the goal of the chili peppers. Thank you, dear. Red hot chili peppers. Red hot. Red hot. Anyway. So they get Torres to the courthouse and they get him to the stand. And oh, boy. You know when you're watching any type of movie that involves like crime or anything like that, and there's always that one person that gets turned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love that Torres turned. I love that he was intimidated by the police officers in the room because
And that's why they were there.
Well, oh, absolutely. And I love that they emphasized and showed the look on the police officer's face and Torres's face that if you say a damn thing, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. We're going to kill you. But if you noticed, a couple of the cops had a tattoo on their neck. Did you notice that tattoo?
Owl has one.
Uh-huh. The tattoo was of the Punisher.
You can't really see what it is. It's kind of Punisher-esque.
It is Punisher-esque. It is actually the Punisher skull, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
And mostly and we do know that the Punisher is going to be in Daredevil Born Again. We just don't know when, at least right now. But I have been seeing things tagged on walls, like graffiti art of his skull being around and so on and so forth. So something is happening when it comes down to that. And for me, I'm like, okay, are they working with the Punisher, or are they using his ideologies to do whatever the hell they want as police officers? You know,
Or is it just they thought it was really cool and said, "Hey, let's use this to represent ourselves."
which would be freaking awesome.
So
Yeah.
there's multiple ways that that could have
Yes.
turned into their identifier.
Yes. Now, when he's on the stand, he withdraw. He turns. Nope, never seen these guys in my life, and that left Matt in a really bad position because now he had to disqualify him as a witness. He's the key witness, but now we got to get rid of him.
He withdraws him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly what they have to withdraw him. Take him off the docket, get him out of here. We don't need him here, and be gone. And that's a big defeat. Yeah. Big defeat.
Well, I mean, at that point, Torres was their entire case.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt said it himself. Our entire case just went down the toilet.
Went out the window. Hasta bye-bye.
That was their entire defense.
Yeah. Yeah. And later, and again, there's a lot of things going on. Aside from the court trial, we still have the side story with Fisk and Vanessa. Not only are they still meeting for couples counseling, but they send their guy Buck to meet with all the 5 families and pay off the situation that happened with the truck hijacking and the double murder in Red Hook. And he's also saying, listen, you guys, you fuck up one more time, Fisk is coming after you. And you're not going to like it. Because you got to remember, Fisk is the mayor of the city, which means he has a lot more power now. Because he could give up everyone in those 5 families in a heartbeat to the commissioner of the police department in New York.
Who can't stand him.
But could you imagine if he did that? Ooh, boy.
I don't think Fisk would be alive for much longer. Instead of 1 bullet in the head, he would have gotten 5, 6, 7 of them.
Give or take. Give or take. Now,
I mean, he's not, the police commissioner can't stand him. The cops aren't behind him.
True.
At this point, that may change, when he starts his war on the vigilantes.
Yep.
But at this point in time, no one on the good side of the law likes him or trusts him.
That's true. It's very true.
So,
now,
tough situation to be in.
Now, the other thing, and I know you answered in the chat, but let's go back a little bit. Big Tank says, why would he turn on his meal ticket? He was a confidential informant. Because of all the police officers in that room. And again, I agree with you, JT. If all those officers weren't in there, he probably would have done what he needed to do and answer truthfully on the stand in front of the jury.
I mean, we don't know what Matt and his law firm offered him.
Right, we don't.
They may have offered to kind of a witness protection kind of thing, move him somewhere, take care of him, give him money, give him a house, the whole, something like that.
Yeah, and it's off the walls. So now they got to come up with a new game plan.
On
Torres
the fly.
Is out.
In a cop murder trial case in New York.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Now you have no witnesses. So now what? What is the next step? Okay. The next step is putting Hector Ayala on the stand, which you have to. You have to do that character interrogation for the courtroom. You have to. Where are you from? Who, are you married? Do you have kids? What were you doing there? Like all of that stuff. And he even reveals that I was just on my way home. I was on my way home with this brand new set of keys to our own apartment for my wife.
And flowers.
With flowers, yes. Had flowers too. So he was doing something good. And the first thing that he says is, I saw somebody in trouble. It was Mr. Torres. It was the right thing to do. The right thing to do.
He said that, I want to say 4 times.
Oh, he said it multiple times.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times.
It was the right thing to do.
Yep.
Now, even though
here comes a twist.
And honestly, this is just my opinion, this was the Hail Mary pass.
Oh yeah.
The Hail Mary pass that was only played because they had nothing. He had nothing else.
Yeah, out of complete and utter desperation.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it's not just the Hail Mary pass. This is the Hail Mary pass after there was a penalty on the Hail Mary pass that you didn't complete.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But in this case, I mean, for one, like Big Tank just said in our Twitch chat, it had to be done. Yes, absolutely. You had no other play. You had no other play. So as he's questioning him, he decides to pull out the one and only card that he had. And that was to reveal to everyone in the courtroom that Hector Ayala is the White Tiger.
After fighting his ass off.
Yeah.
To get the judge to not let anything about that be brought up in trial.
And let me tell you, listen, the judge did exactly what he needed to do. He blew a gasket, and I don't blame him for blowing the gasket either, because let's face it, if I was a judge and we had that conversation, like, listen, he's a vigilante. This is going to create more problems for him and his family, the people that are innocent in this. We can't do it. Yeah. Don't do it. We're not going to touch it. Okay, fine. And then you pull this out of your ass. Oh, man.
Well, and the thing that I loved about this whole twist,
which was
he didn't just say, hey, you're White Tiger, aren't you?
No.
He pulled the White Tiger mask out of his briefcase and held it up in the air.
Oh, it was, oh man, it was so good. It really was.
And we might have to take $1 out of the tip jar on this one, but that
only counts on Tuesdays.
First.
Only counts that only counts on Tuesdays.
So I can't do it.
No, you can do it. You just
that was the first holy fuck moment.
Oh yeah.
Of this entire series.
Hands down, and it was great. It really was. It was great. It got them to where they needed to be. Yes, he got his ass chewed out for doing it without consulting the DA and the judge.
Well, I mean, when they were in judge's chambers, he's like, I could throw the court out, or I could throw the case out.
Yeah.
But that's not going to do any. I could do a mistrial.
Yep.
But that's not going to do any good. We are where we are.
Yep. It was such a great play.
Yeah.
That it put
unexpected.
Well, not only was it unexpected, but it was such a great play that the judge had absolutely no choice but to allow it. Because if you call a mistrial on somebody who's up for murdering a police officer, whoa. Yep. It's going to be chaos in the streets. The police are going to go on strike, like the works, okay?
Going to be L.A. in New York.
Yeah.
I like what
Now,
Tank said, that it had to be done. If not, he would have gone to Sing Sing.
it's
I
true.
don't think he would have even made it to Sing Sing.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they would have taken the law into their own hands with that. You know?
Yeah, I do too.
So now the rest of the trial is all people that he's saved, people that he's helped, people that he kept from harm because it was the right thing to do.
Official police files.
Lots
He had
of
like
police
at least
files.
8 cases, that he actually pointed out
Yep.
where he helped the cop. The main one he pointed out was the one where he helped the cop because the bad guy that he was fighting with was getting the upper hand and he's going to kill him.
Yep. So he saved police officers.
Stepped in, pulled him off, and even actually helped the officer to apprehend him and lock him up.
And the other thing is you had all these other civilian victims that he had helped.
Mm-hmm.
So now, not only do you have the Family Guy character, the background from that, because he was a loving husband, he was an uncle, all of that good stuff. Now you have all the people that he helped as a vigilante because he stepped up because Daredevil is gone. Daredevil's not fighting. He's not out there. Matt is being a lawyer the way he's supposed to be. All right.
I think the line was, "If not me, then who?"
Yeah. If not me, then who else? Who's going to do it? Daredevil? He's not around. So now we're seeing the turn of the jury, so to speak. We're seeing them do what they need to do, right?
I tell you what, the closing arguments
The closing arguments
were
great.
freaking awesome. Matt's closing argument, with being the good guy, he did these things because he was trying to help people. Yep. He was helping somebody down here on the subway.
Yeah.
And things happen. He didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't his mission to kill this officer. And then the state's attorney starts his.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a cop killer.
The best counter to Matt's close that he could have put up.
Yeah.
Because Matt's whole argument was he's a good guy. He wants to help people, so that they can go on and continue to live their lives and do whatever it is that they're born to do.
Absolutely.
And he makes the basic argument of, can bad guys do good? Yes. Can good guys do bad? Yes.
Yes.
Everybody has that ability.
Absolutely.
And he could have stopped right there. I mean, he could have ended his closing argument right there, and it would have been a beautiful freaking close.
Sure.
But then he got into some details.
The details, yes.
Do we want to talk about those now, or do we want to wait?
Let's do it, because we're at that part.
So I love the way he did this, because he walks up to the jury box, and it's got the little bolster on the corner, and he leans on this bolster, looks all the jury members in the eye, guys. Do you know what happens when you get hit by a train?
Yeah.
Most people just think you go splat.
Well, you kind of do.
200,000 pounds worth of train smacking into you at a high speed.
Yeah.
It's just every bone in your body breaks instantaneously.
It shatters.
Every organ in your body basically is turned to mush.
Yep.
But you're still alive.
Until you fall.
The way he put it was until they back the train up.
Yep.
Off of you.
Yep.
As soon as that happens, your body explodes.
Yeah. It was very descriptive.
Very gory, very, very descriptive.
Yeah.
And he did, Tank. He mixed up two different versions of Dying by a Train. It's true. It's funny that he did. But extremely descriptive. Extremely poignant.
Yeah.
So and he's like, Officer Tanneman, I think was his name, didn't die instantly.
No.
He didn't die until they backed the train up. And then he went
kaboom.
And, just adding that, when he did that, when I listened to it, I was calling Ayala guilty.
Yeah.
After that closing argument, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. Now the other thing is, if you paid attention to that episode where he did get hit by the train, he didn't get run over.
Mm-mm.
He got splattered.
Yep.
He was like,
Ayala had blood all over his face.
Well, but that's the thing. He was a bug on the windshield.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So he just splattered because of the force of the train, him flying, and getting hit by the train. In this
case, I think he was dead instantly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
again, bug on a windshield.
But as an attorney, you gotta,
you gotta do.
You can work things a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta do the gruesome stuff. You gotta show, or at least get the jury to believe what you're trying to get across. You
want them to think that his victim went through hell before they finally died.
Yes,
kind of thing. But like I said, if I'd have been in that jury box, I'd have been calling him guilty.
Yeah.
It was that good of a closing argument.
Big Tank in our Twitch chat says the cop did die instantly. He was mid-air when he was hit since it was going speed. Body parts were found down between Times Square and 54th Street. Not wrong. Not wrong.
And he's right. In this case, it wasn't a got run over kind of thing. It was a got splattered, like you said, fly in a windshield kind of thing.
Yeah.
I say hi to Becky. Just said hi to us,
Becky,
via Facebook.
I got news about Becky.
For tomorrow.
Yeah. So Becky, you gotta tune in tomorrow. I got news. I'll tell you after the show. Love you, Becky. Love you, Becky. And you know why? Extra love. Extra love.
But yeah, it was really interesting. And, it
really was.
Myself, I'm sitting there going, man, I do not see how this jury could not convict this guy. I really don't. I didn't see it.
Yeah. But the good thing is Matt Murdock played that part really well and got them all to say he was not guilty on all the charges that was brought up against him.
First degree murder, not guilty. Second degree murder, not guilty. Manslaughter, not guilty.
At the same time, all the cops are pissed because he got off. But that's what happens. Justice was served. He was an innocent guy who got into a fight with cops who never identified themselves, and one just got splattered on a train. I love making...
He didn't say, oh, here comes the train, 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah.
Splatter.
None of that happened.
Now, obviously, Wilson Fisk had a wonderful part in knowing the outcome of this, because his whole mayoral campaign was... no more vigilantes. We're going to weed them out. We're going to get rid of them. The White Tiger, Daredevil, the guy who swings on webs, you name it. He wanted to get rid of them. All of them. So as the news breaks out that White Tiger, Hector Ayala, is now innocent, Fisk says to Blake, all right, get your buddy BB here. I want to talk to her. I got an
Of course, yeah. The other guy's like, "Oh, that's not a good idea. Don't do it. Not a good idea."
And he says that the acquittal was a miscarriage of justice. And even BB was like, "Yeah, but the judge and the jury did their job. Like, it happens. But Fisk flat out said that the justice system is flawed. Now, mind you, he's the kingpin of crime. Vigilantes are a threat that, as mayor, I take seriously. Which then, Big Tank says, I hate the whole marriage counseling thing for Fisk. Slows down the show too much. But it really doesn't, because it's not that long. It's not like,
there wasn't much in here, and I think they added those parts in here to get the episode length.
Time. Because you got to remember, a trial like this isn't summed up in 1 hour. You have to show time. You have to show time. So, on the nights off or the days off where they're not in court and they're not hearing all the witnesses. And again, it's a day by day thing. Okay. So you have to.
Well, this was a pretty quick trial.
It was,
there
but
wasn't a lot to it.
It was, but was it? There was more. You got to remember, they had to stretch this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is where the whole "Are you white tiger" thing came into play, because now you've got witnesses. Now you've got a bigger case. Now you're prolonging that case to make it longer to hear everything to get this guy acquitted.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now you've got at least 8 police files. There's at least 8 people we need to talk to. And oh, by the way, one of them is your police officer. So,
right.
But again, you need that marriage counseling tidbit in there, because Wilson Fisk is a part of the main story. He is. You have to humanize the guy. You have to. It's just one of those things creatively that you have to do, because if you don't,
I agree, but it did kind of throw a kink in this episode.
It does throw a kink, but it did its purpose.
A necessary one.
it did its purpose, because you're trying to show, okay, Fisk is running the city. We've got this big trial going on for an alleged cop killer. Now we need to throw something in there of, okay, he's also a main character. Fisk isn't a supporting character. He is the main bad guy right now. Bullseye
besides the cops.
Bullseye is just a supporting character. Hector is a supporting character. But it's good that we're bringing in the White Tiger, because now we can have his niece, who's the White Tiger in the comics at the moment, be the White Tiger later on. The Young Avengers are coming. Trust me, it's happening. Now, the other thing is, while Fisk is talking to BB, we see Hector putting the suit on. Now, mind you, he's free. He's free to go. He was acquitted.
They actually showed that. The judge told him, you're free to go.
You're free to go. You're free to move about and live your life. Now, what happens is, he's putting on the suit so he can start patrolling the streets again to help people. And he's hearing people. He's hearing things here and there. He's got the amulet on. He's got his superpowers. And as he's walking the streets, he's ambushed by a gunman who shoots him in the head. Dead. White Tiger, Hector Ayala, dead. Right there on the streets. And the gunman, as he's walking away, you can see the Punisher's insignia on his shirt. Now, was it a holy shit moment? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
However, and this is what really boggles my mind. Once the episode was done, and I know why they did what they did. Okay. So the reason they killed him off was not because he was a major character in the MCU. He's not. He's not. He's just a supporting character.
Not with Ayala in it.
Right.
In the suit.
But the actor that played Hector Ayala passed away.
That's right. Tank told us that last week.
Even while they were filming. Now, again, Daredevil should have came out last year. But we had a writer's strike. We had an actor's strike. So everything got pushed back. Everything got pushed back. Which means the show got pushed back.
Yep.
Camar de los Rios passed away Christmas Eve of 2023. His scenes were already filmed. So now you have to do, oh shit. You know, and don't get me wrong, they knew he had cancer. He did. He had cancer. Okay. The thing with that is, even when they were filming, he wanted to do this role.
Yeah.
And
you can always beat cancer, you know.
But you can see in certain angles and everything, you can see he was hurting. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially when
was,
he's in court.
You know? So once that kind of came out, and a lot of these other publications that do podcasts and do critiques and they critique the entire episode, kind of like what we do, but we do it in a fun way. They were shocked that they killed him off. I'm like,
I was too.
Which
At
again,
least that quickly. I didn't expect it to happen that fast.
Right, which is understandable.
You know, I mean, I figured, you know, because I mean, with it happening that fast, what's going to happen? The courts are going to go, whoa.
Yeah.
What did we miss?
I want to say hi to Jenna.
And they're going to start looking into the other cops.
Oh yeah, hands down.
That were involved in everything else. I didn't expect it that quickly.
I want to say hi to Jenna, who just chimed in on TikTok with some smiley faces. She's liking the live and sent a little heart gift. Thanks, Jenna.
Thank you.
My buddy down in Florida. I feel so bad for you because of the rap that Floridians get, but you are definitely not one of those people. I'm just saying. But yeah, obviously, if you're just joining us, we just finished talking about Daredevil Born Again, episode 3. And how they killed off one of the characters because the actor actually passed away in December of 2023. So, you know, the reasoning was there. And I get it.
One thing I want to get in here, though.
Yep.
Real quick, and I almost forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually about the title of this episode, The Hollow of His Hand.
Yes.
And I thought this was really, really cool. Matt and I can't think of her name. His love interest are at
Heather Glenn.
Heather, sorry. Matt and Heather are at his flat, his place, whatever you want to call it. He's cooking. They celebrate his victory, and he tells her the story of how he and Froggy,
not Froggy,
used to celebrate winning. Or Foggy, sorry. I've been calling him Froggy for some reason ever since the beginning of it. But how he and Foggy used to celebrate their victories in court.
Yes.
With a bottle of, what was it, Old Settlers whiskey.
Yes.
Or bourbon, whatever it is. And, you know, there's a nice little exchange about, you know, I was wondering when you were going to tell me about Foggy and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other thing. But her toast was really cool because, you know, she talks about him, talks about Foggy, and, you know, may God keep everybody in the hollow of his hand.
Yep.
And right after that, Ayala catches a bullet in the head.
Yes. Matched it up very nicely, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it tied up things on both ends.
But if you think about it, obviously they did it for a reason.
Yeah.
They really did. They had to do something to add to it,
Right.
So to me, they did the right thing by killing the character off, mostly because eventually White Tiger is going to be his niece. And we know that because she's the one in the comics right now that is the White Tiger. So let's see. What is it? This is episode 3. So do I start or do you? I forget.
Oh, it would be me.
You. All right. So how many Daredevil Billy Clubs do you give this episode?
Well, first, I have the exact quote here.
Okay.
Well, then, here's to a man who cooks a well-won case and Foggy Nelson. May God hold them all in the hollow of his hand.
Absolutely.
Beautiful toast. Beautiful toast.
Beautiful toast.
Great episode. Like I said just not too long ago, I did feel like the scenes with actually the breakfast scene was fine.
Mm-hmm.
That moved pretty smoothly with everything else. But the counseling stuff after that just kind of threw things off to me. It threw off the timing a little bit. Just a small bump in the road, not a big deal. The turn of the witness, Torres, in the trial.
Yep.
That was a holy fuck moment. Like I said, that was the first one of the episode. The second one was the way White Tiger died.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I mean, they showed him putting on a suit. He's walking through the city streets. He's walking up a hill. He's hearing because he's hearing some screaming, so he's heading in that direction.
Yep.
Almost like it was set up that way to get him to come up that alley.
Yes.
Gets to the top. Guy steps out of the shadows. Bang.
Boom.
Just one round. Boom. He goes down. They show him down on the ground. And the guy walks to the camera. You see half of a Punisher emblem. I literally, and I hate to say it again, but I literally sat there at the end of that episode and said, "Holy fuck! That's how you end an episode.
That's how you do it. That's how you keep people on edge. Absolutely."
Yeah. I mean, and they kept me on my toes in this episode with the trial and everything, and the sudden turns. Torres turning on him, Matt pulling out the White Tiger mask.
Yep.
The whole nine yards. I loved it. I'm giving it a 4.25.
Ooh, nice.
4.25.
Look at that. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, aside from everything like that, I do agree with you and Big Tank that yes, the counseling sessions are a way to kind of slow down the pace a little bit to kind of get you, give you a little bit of rest. So
yeah. Absolutely
needed.
A necessary evil in this episode.
Yes, absolutely. You need it. And again, it's to show it's to show time. Okay. So that's the one thing you just got to remember. It's to show time and all that good stuff. Killing off White Tiger, like I said, I thought was the perfect fit. The actor passed away. There's nothing you can do about that. You have to move on. There are other characters who became White Tiger, so we've got plenty to work with. The introduction of the Punisher in this episode, magnificent. It was perfect the way they did it.
Yeah, it was definitely unexpected.
Unexpected, but at least you saw subtle hints. The graffiti on the walls, the tattoos on some of the police officers' necks. So there's things going on, much bigger things that are going on. I can't wait to see what happens next. The fact that Matt Murdock took on this case and knew he could potentially lose, pulled out that trick and twisted everything around to get this guy acquitted was magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Could he have gotten in more trouble for what he did? Yeah, most likely. Most likely. But it was amazing. So for me, I'm giving this week's episode a 4.5. 4.5 Daredevil Billy Clubs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm loving what they're doing with this. I really am.
Like I said, it pulled me in quick. It pulled me in episode 1.
Yeah.
I love the title for episode 4.
Ah, yes. Episode 4 is going to be a good one.
Sic Semper Systema.
Yeah. It's going to be fantastic.
Interesting.
Because it's something like that. We're going to be seeing.
They start throwing Latin in there.
We're going to be seeing someone extra special.
You'll be seeing some shit.
Going to be extra special. So, with that being said, that is the end of this week's Avenger Pretenders. I thought we did pretty good.
Not too bad. It's only 9:08.
Yeah, I thought we did pretty good with keeping to the hour. But I'm loving what we're doing. I'm loving how we're doing it this time.
It really works for this episode because, like I said, the organized walkthrough just wouldn't work with how they're doing this series.
Absolutely, it's
nice little switch.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, for the redneck, there he is. I'm the geek, and we're going to tell you, join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Accidental Punch TV, as well as TikTok, for The Sully Show. We've got a great show that will most likely be planned by 1 o'clock. That seems to be when Lady Death gets the prep sheet done, which is awesome.
Actually, prep sheet's already done.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
She didn't change this episode or the episode number on the World Record Story, but that's okay.
She did not, and that's okay. That's okay. So you know what? I'm going to say, let's do it. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we've got a lot to talk about. We'll probably throw some more discussions up there as well, because we seem to be doing really good with that. And of course, we'll be live next Monday for Avenger Pretenders, where we'll be talking about episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again. Yes, it's going to be fantastic. So like I said, he's the redneck. He's going to say goodbye now. And I'm going to say goodbye to TikTok. We're going to still be live for a little bit. So, want to have some after show discussion, by all means, stick around. We'll talk. We'll do whatever for a few minutes, and we'll go from there. And as always, just remember, folks, Thanos was right.